Hey everyone, and welcome back to GG Haven. My name is Dev, and today we're going to be breaking down the top 16 lists from Bandai Card Fest, where we held the first ever Union Arena Nationals. I had the opportunity, a very privileged opportunity, to be one of the casters for Bandai for this game, so I got to see up close. I was with the players, the tensions, the anticipation of between rounds and all of that. It was truly insightful to see. Did I miss playing a little bit? Maybe a little bit. But Bandai, you don't have to look at this. Maybe a little bit, but honestly, casting was a lot of fun. You know, I casted alongside Cosmic. We both really riffled off of each other really well, and honestly, the final game one was amazing. Like, I think I lost my voice for game two, but I'm here joined by my great friend Luigi.
Yo, what's up, everyone? How's it going? Can't wait to dive into these deck lists. Very interesting lists, but we'll cover a lot of their decisions, I should say, in the video. So
Yep. One before we break down the list, let's break down the top 16 decks. So we had 7 Spear, 6 Kenshin, 2 Yellow Eva or Eva Ray, 1 Red Shinji, 1 Saito, and 1 Willy. So you can clearly see it's been dominated by 2 IPs. Looking at this, you would think that, oh, Spear probably took it all, right? But it was actually Red Kenshin that took it all. Red Kenshin, we had this all joke throughout the weekend, is the boogeyman of the old, and Spear is the boogeyman of the new. So this is what the meta is looking like heading into our future releases, which is Kagurobachi and solo leveling. But will they change the meta around? We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, these are the top 16 decks. We can break them down one by one, starting with number 16. We had Will playing the one off Hajime.
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Hajime made top 16. I know it's a very good deck, but it's just very surprising to see with Spear running around and how much they can free play. Hajime still was able to keep up and maintain momentum against Spear and other Ava decks as well.
Yeah, like they're running that 4-1 Sinosuke. I don't know if that's a standard piece that you run, but it's kind of like cool because it says you may pay 1 AP, and if you do, uh,
You can
choose
remove a
someone.
site.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
remove a
choose a
site.
side, right? Yeah, so I don't know what deck it would be good against that uses side, but I mean, I guess it's a 4K body, right? So
Yeah, I think the mindset with this list specifically was I need 4K bodies to keep up with Kenshin as well as Spears
yeah,
5K and cheating out 4Ks, right? So I think
yeah,
that was just like a small tech card they added.
got it. All right, and then next on the top 16, we have Siggy with the spear, one of many. But yeah, so they're running a pretty standard list, but they're running Kawaru instead of Mari as the color trigger. So that was one of the biggest things, right? Like, which color trigger should I use? Should I use Kawaru for the restand effect? Because the same turn you play Kawaru and the 2-cost Shinji, you can activate main on the Kawaru to restand the Shinji at the same time, right? So you immediately at 6 or 7 energy the moment you play it. So it's a really cool tech kind of card or pretty cool color trigger to play. But they're also pairing it with the 1-cost Nullify Impact Asuka. So again, this might be the spear tech, right? Because there's going to be so many impacts coming in, so many, I would say, pushes coming in with Kenshin impact as well, right? So it helps with I guess the Nullify impact help with that. Only running one of Mari though. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's very interesting that they're gonna run the one Mari because the Mari, in case for people that don't know, when attacking with the Mari, you can sideline a card from your hand, and if you do, play a 3 cost or less Shinji from the sideline, set resting to your, I believe it's field. Yes, it's to
Yes,
your
field.
field. So pretty much what this card lets you do is it lets you bring that nullify impact Shinji from sideline if it got blown up or if you raided on top of it. And it keeps that nullify impact pressure on, especially against the mirror match with Spear and also with that pushback Kenshin raid. So it just constantly cycles through that Shinji and constantly brings it back every time you swing with it if your opponent doesn't deal with it. The one of is very unique. I can understand why they had to make room for the Kawaru. So I understand why they had to reduce it to 1. But hey, I can't really criticize it too much because it made top 16 and it worked for him.
For sure. On the right, moving on, we have Red Kenshin. So this is honestly a pretty standard list. Every Marquise here, yeah. Honestly, nothing too much to talk about. I think the biggest thing would be 3 of the 4-2 Kenshins. Usually you play those for a mirror matchup and they work really well in a mirror matchup because, like you can kill their Kenshins or whatever, right? So it's pretty cool. So running 3 of, wonder what that would have been the choice. They're also running 2 of the Megumi, right? Which is you can basically, when played, bump someone by 1,000. Which is what most of the people would use the effect for. The other effect is you can basically bring back a 1 cost, which is your Kenshin Searcher to search, which is also a pretty cool tech, right? So that's what I'm trying to figure out, because a standard list has the 3 cost Kamiya, the 4 of 3 cost Kamiya, and 2 of the 4-2 Kenshin. So they just made them 3-3. So I mean, it worked for them. Like top 16 is no great feat, no small feat. It's a pretty great feat. So they did make it.
Yeah, the Megumi card is actually very interesting too, because if for whatever reason you're playing through your game, and I know you're a big red Kenshin player, Div, but I'm sure you've had games where all you've seen was your 0 costs, your 1 costs, or your baby Kenshins more than your raids. So the ability that Megumi adds to bring that Searcher Kenshin back from the sideline if you had to use it for chump block, just to make sure you get those cards quickly, is kind of a very, very cool little add-in card there.
Yep. And then next on the top 16, we have another red Kenshin, Benny Blanco Montreal. I'm guessing MTL stands for Montreal. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, right? Same list. The Kamiya is 4. The Kenshin is 2. There's not much to talk about. I always like decks when they run He-10. Just because when you swing with a double attacker, you get to draw another card if you trash the He-10. Absolutely broken combo.
Yeah, it's very during the LC, the last chance qualifier run that I had, I wandering around after my games, I have seen that card used almost 90% of the time off the double swing Kenshin. It's an insane card.
I know. All right, moving forward. Congrats, Benny. We have Aura GX with the Spear.
Yeah, so this is pretty similar to the last Spear list that we have, but instead of the 1 cost Asuka Nullify Impact, it looks like they swapped in for a Mari 0 cost and also a Kawaru 0 cost instead of the or the other 0 cost Shinji that some players run. It's very, and also I completely didn't see that they also run the color trigger Mari. I guess they did the 2-2 split.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also still running the 1 of 6 cost though. So I don't know what the thinking there was.
That's very. I understand running like 2, maybe 3, but the 1 of is very interesting because I would want to see the Mari late game, especially against the Kenshin or a mirror match or something that has impact. So I wonder. I mean, I guess because Spear, you're filtering pretty much a lot of cards on raid, and you can just pop something to activate the effect again to draw another card. So I can see why the 1 of would make sense to make room for other key pieces and tech cards.
Love the 3 finals though. I absolutely
3 finals.
When people, because we all believe at Haven that You
Yep.
know, 3 finals is the way to go. Like, honestly,
Three
if I could
finals.
run no finals, I would run no finals. Honestly, maybe I'll do it at one tournament. I
Eh,
won't tell you which one, but I
It's
will.
it's funny because experimenting with the spear deck, I actually brought my final count down to 1 just to see how well and consistent it was. It was very consistent, and the other
Yeah.
added cards helped my curve. But man, there were some times where I was like, I wish I had a final to do more this turn.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Moving forward, we have Tennis the Menace with another spear deck. So this is something you're probably more familiar with, but no 6 cost Mari.
This is why I like the spear theory crafting that everyone's been
Yeah.
doing. Some people run the Mari, some people don't run the Mari. It's I don't want to say weird, but because I've play tested with the deck
It's
so
different,
much,
unique.
it's
Unique.
very unique and different to see
Yeah.
people's approaches on how they build these decks and how no same spear deck is exactly the same. Everyone's got their hidden tech cards.
Yep. Very cool. You know, in one of our previous interviews, I had sent you guys a question. You know, safe play or spicy tech? This is definitely,
Yes.
they're all going for that spicy tech.
Yes, we
Yeah.
love spicy tech.
All right. Next, we have another sphere and Smusher, our very own friend.
Yes.
Smusher came top 16, rode all the way from LCQ, qualified in One Piece Nats, but chose
Yep.
to play UA LCQ, came top 8, 7th to
Yes.
be exact, in LCQ,
Mm-hmm.
and then got his UU championship card, and then ended up going to Nats and doing top 16. That it literally rode the wave.
Yeah, talk about a insane underdog story.
I know.
Starting from 0 and going to
Yes.
hero.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty standard list, I would say. This is something I guess more similar to your style of list with the 3 Asuka,
Yes.
2 Mari.
Mhm.
So I did see a couple of his games, and there was a turn where it was like double wonder, final double special, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
you're just clearing
Yeah.
board this turn.
Yep.
It was pretty
Yeah.
pretty cool to see.
Yeah, the wonder definitely helps you get out of a bind if you don't have a special. Well, guess what? My wonder is now a force block, so I'm getting 1 body. Assuming they don't have a 5k on the board, but yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes,
guaranteed
of
a
course.
body.
Of course. All right, moving forward, we have the one and only Jane, the most, arguably one of the most consistent Union Arena pro. Can we call them pros now because the championship series have done? Yeah, I think we can.
Yes,
one of
you
the
can.
one of the most consistent pro UA players out there. She came first in Swiss. So
Mhm.
before Top Cut, she was first, sitting undefeated. There, people were actually like, "Oh, damn, I'm facing Jane." Like there was
Yep.
a aura around her of like plot armor the first day. Like she cannot lose. She was seeing them. She was playing her cards perfectly, sequencing them perfectly. Anytime I could take a little bit of a break to go watch the games, I went and watched either Smusher's games or Jane's game, and they were like, Jane was doing a fabulous job. But
Yeah, I wish I was able to see her a lot of her games because Yellow Eva is a very I don't want to say fast-paced deck, but it can run away if you don't keep up with it. And
Yep.
yeah, it's just insane.
So it's a pretty standard list. I think the one thing that they have is they've teched in the 2 cost Mari instead of going for a full playset of the Nullify Impact Ray. The Nullify Impact Ray is
Okay.
really cool, right? Because you know you can kill your own, you can block with your own unit, trash a card, and bring back Ray as Nullify Impact to stop an impact, to
Yep.
make you win the game. So you can technically have 5 defenders / 5 attackers at some points, right? So it's pretty cool. But they've teched in the 2 cost Mari, which is also very clever. So I wonder how many times it came into play. But yes.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar. I mean, I did versus deck once, but I'm not too
Yeah.
familiar in the sequencing and how everything works. But
Yeah.
I can say that Ray bring back is pretty
Yeah.
annoying.
And honestly, I had my money on Jane winning the entire thing. I thought she would have won the entire thing. She just got a little bit unlucky, but that's not gonna stop her. When I was talking to her, she said like this is only season 1, so the next
Yep.
season has already started. So apparently she's already grinding and getting ready for the next tournament. So congratulations, Jane. Top 16 and topping 3 regionals at this point is still, you're gonna hold the
That's
honor
crazy.
of most consistent UA pro player until I start doing regionals this season. But yes. Okay, moving on. We do have Fireflake top 8. So we are in our top 8. We do have Fireflake. So Fireflake, I actually played with him against him at the Canadian regionals. He was running pretty much the same list. It's a standard Kenshin list. Like, honestly, there isn't much to talk about. The only thing I would say is his top 16 game was against Jane, and unfortunately, Jane did not see the cards she needed. So Fireflake did beat Jane to get into top 8. But yeah, honestly, pretty standard Kenshin list. We've talked about Kenshin so much. I'm just gonna skip over it. But before saying that, congratulations, Fireflake, for going top 8.
Yes. Congrats.
And then we have Spencer, top 8 with the yellow Eva list again. So again, pretty similar list, but little different because they're running 3 of the Maris and 3 of the Rays. So Jane's list was more I would say 0 cost, 1 cost consistent because you had more of those pieces here. This is more of a, okay, cool, I have 12 0 costs, 4 1 cost, so 16 cards. But Jane's had a little more, so I guess this is just a lesser consistent variant. Not to say it's not good. It is pretty good.
Yep.
They got top 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't realize how important Misato is, right? And I hate to do this, and I avoid doing this, but if Toto was in the meta right now, Yellow Eva would probably not be doing that great.
Yeah, the double energies that they can produce, or not really produce, but just having those,
Yeah.
the ceiling before for yellow is very consistent and
Yes.
very quick to get your bodies out.
Yeah, there's a reason Misato is the cover card for this deck. It's because she is the engine, right? She is.
Yep.
She basically does the get trigger into a play trigger, right? So that's your consistent card. But yes, congratulations again, top 8 Spencer. Then we have the one of Willie deck that got into top 8. So pretty surprising, not for the player but for the deck, because there were not a lot of, in a sea shrouded by spears and yellow ray Evas, you would not have noticed a spear Willie come out on top, right? So they did a really good job of coming out on top. So this I don't know much about this list. I just know what the cards do. I don't know the combos. But from what I understand, it works kind of like Byakuya a little bit.
Yes. You're pretty much popping, or not popping. You're BP reducing cards, and then if you BP reduce a card to 0, the 5 cost Evangelion model 8, you get to tuck cards underneath it. And it's insanely scary once it gets going. I'm very surprised that they didn't run Wonder, but seeing this list, I don't see it being a problem with the amount of pressure, and then the Mari color trigger being able to draw a card if you don't block. So I feel like the card draw would be very consistent with this deck without Wonder.
But congratulations, you are officially JV, one of the best Willy deck players out there in North America. So congrats once again. Moving forward to our top 8, last top 8, I think. Jesse B, the infamous Toshiro player, turned to Spear for Nat. So yes, Jesse B did almost win the entire tournament at Dallas with his Toshiro. but ended up, being a little bit unfortunate there, but still qualified. But here came top 8, fifth. Actually, there's no fifth, sixth. It's all top 8. So top 8, pretty good, pretty good. Pretty standard list here. Like there's not much to talk about. 2 finals though.
Yes, I was gonna say
getting to
2 finals.
We're getting to the era where we're running less and less finals, right? With solo
Yep.
leveling coming out and some of the cards we've seen there. You know what? We'll save that for another. We'll save that for another video.
Yeah, we'll save that for
can-
another video.
Alex can make that video, but yes. But yeah, 2 finals,
Yeah.
2 Mario.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, congratulations, Jesse B. Top 8. All right, let's get into our top 4. So in 4th place, we have Zandrio with a Kenshin list. Oh, very, very, very consistent Kenshin list. They have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 0 costs and 4 1
Yep.
costs. Right?
Yep.
So almost like 17 cards off the bat. That if I like to count my zeros and ones as 1, so 17 of them, pretty consistent. Only one of the Heat 10, eh? So
Yes, I am very curious to see, or not really curious, but I imagine that he just had that card for, I guess, endgame. He would hold on to it, and if
Yep.
he had the double swing Kenshins out, he would just get that additional draw.
yes. So my list is very similar. Like it's identical to this list. The only difference here is instead of 4 finals, I have 3 finals and I have an extra Heat 10. That's the only difference between
okay.
that list and this list, my list and this list. But again, I didn't top Nats. Zandrio did. So congratulations, Zandrio, for coming 4th. Fabulous, fantastic job. All right. In 3rd place, who would have thought?
Yes.
We have Red Eva. So before we get into the list, Luigi, do you want to tell the viewers what deck I was going to play if I played Nats?
So he was going to play Red Ava, which we did play a couple games together, and I was like, Div, are you sure you want to play Red Ava if you do play when you play Nats? And he's like, yep, I think it'll do good. And lo and behold, 3rd place Red Ava is crazy.
So the obviously I couldn't tell everyone that I wasn't playing and I'm going to be commentating just because until it's finalized, I don't like to say it until it's officially announced on the social media channels. But yes, Red Eva was one of my strongest competitors between Mina or Red Eva to play for Nats. But having said that, like Joey did a fabulous job. This deck does revolve a little bit around high roll. I'm not gonna lie, it does revolve around a little high rolly, but Joey made the deck in such a way that it helps you if you don't high roll, especially with the side card, right? The side card lets you search for cards, right? And during your turn effects, you have the 1 of the 3 cost Misato, which helps you generate energy, right? So it does help a lot. The whole deck, you have to be, how would I put this? You need to be able to play this deck in your dream if you want to be good at this deck, because sequencing is the king with this deck. You need to make sure what you're rating on to use the 6 cost suicide bomber effect of the Eva to pop your opponent's card, to make sure what ray you're putting in. You need to make sure that you're using the top 3 draw effects to make sure you're putting the ray. You need to make sure you're not over sidelining your rays, because you won't see any rays if you draw, right? So you have to be very consistent. You need to make sure that when you're rating the 7 cost Shinji or the Eva pseudo DMS phase, you make sure you're putting the cards correctly underneath it and only drawing back what you have to. When, if you double raid, do you have 8 in the sideline to do that? I wouldn't double raid, right? When to raid your double blockers, when to block with your double blockers so that you can do the draw one, trash a card to play a ray onto your field. Very, very sequence heavy. Like just by going through that, you guys could tell that I was gonna play this deck.
Yes.
But it's very sequence heavy. So congratulations, Joey, for taking 3rd place. Absolutely phenomenal job. third place, bronze trophy. Looks amazing. I had a chance to speak with you too, and I'm so happy. And I'll see you at the Canadian regionals because I know you're from Montreal. So it's gonna be awesome to see you again.
Well, at least we know why that Hajime player ran the Sonosuke. Red
Yes.
runs a site, so
Yes.
I guess that'll help him manage and pop the site if he
Yep.
ever versus the Red Ava deck.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In second place, who was on stream and got a little bit unlucky, but second place nonetheless, we have Antam or Edward as his Govy. I mean, everyone knows his Govy. It was on YouTube, so I'm not outing him or anything.
Yeah.
Really good list. The zero cost Kawaru is basically so that you can tap him to generate the extra energy to get to 7.
Yep.
So you see it in your opening hand, you're pretty good, right? So pretty consistent list, I would say. I mean, he too rode all the way from LCQ and went into Nats, right?
Yep.
Talking to him, he likes playing board games, right? He just started playing this
Okay.
game like a couple of months ago, and then Eva
Oh, wow.
really got him into the game, and then he just practiced and practiced and practiced to get him to this level, right? So absolute consistent player. Love to see you again, brother. It was really nice to meet you. But yeah, any thoughts on his list? One of the Mari though.
Yeah. Again, maybe I'm just like over appreciating this card at this point, seeing all these decks only run the 1 Mari or the 2 Mari. Maybe I missed something when I was playing this, but hey, if it works, it works. You got second. You have the bragging rights. Congratulations, and yeah, that's no easy feat.
Sir, all right, and then our champion, Virtual Sun, also known as Seth C. Yes, I have to pause while saying that. Seth C. Playing Kenshin, like, oh, what a game. The first game was so close, right? Like on stream, it was on stream, hitting a special kind of saved him that game, but then hitting the final on the other side, what a fantastic game. But nonetheless, he rode the gauntlet, went through the entire Nats, came first in our first ever NA national championships, right? So kudos to you, Virtual Sun. Kenshin, very standard list. Speaking on the list, I would like to say very standard. The Misato, I think it has more value, so I might change my list a little bit because I've seen it come into play pretty cool. It's basically the same list, but instead of the He-Tens, he's running Megumis, right? Like compared to other people for most of it, right? Again, but the one thing I would like to say after going through all of the 16 lists is none of the lists were same.
Yes, that's very surprising to see, especially with a lot of pressure, not really pressure, but a lot of spotlight on Ava and that set coming out and how well it was doing in Japan. Very, very cool to see all these unique, different decks in the top 16 with their own hidden tech, with their own secret sauce that they had added just for this NA National.
Yep. All right, and if you want to check out the rest of the lists, they have been updated on Eggman events. As you can see the pie chart, we've showed it in the video earlier. Like this is what it is. We had 98 players in the top in Nats, and then it was a top cut was best of 3. We did it. We got best of 3, right? So we had all of these lists here. So feel free to check them out on Eggman events. Everything has been updated.
Yeah, and with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone so much for watching this video, and for everything TCG related, you know where to find us, GG Haven. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next big tournament.